Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can tell by the name of this video, I want to be talking to you guys about how you can build an e-commerce brand, whether you're a brand new beginner or maybe you've got a theme page on Instagram that you just want to connect a product that you can then sell to. As you know, on my channel, we talk about theme pages a lot and growing big followings on Instagram and Facebook. And a good way to make money through them theme pages is by actually selling products through Shopify, whether you're dropshipping, print on demand, or just selling digital goods. So I kind of want to give you an overview on my step-by-step process on how I start these stores and how it's going to work for you guys too and how you can do it easily. Now, you've probably watched hundreds of videos already on YouTube talking about why you should set up a Shopify store, why you should start dropshipping and all of this stuff. And it gets really, really confusing. I know when I first started out, there was so much information out there. I didn't know who to listen to. And to be honest, the way I learned was literally just by trying everything out myself. And over the last 5 years, I've done plenty of mistakes, and that is how I've learned the quickest. You know, you don't really learn too much from your successes. You actually end up learning more from when you actually make an epic failure or you make a big mistake. That's when you're going to learn the most, because it usually hurts when you make them mistakes, so you don't want to do them again. So look, I hope this video can give you some value. If it does, smash that like button and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. I want to know where you are at in your journey of e-commerce and just online business in general. And if I can help you in any way, I definitely will. Now, obviously, I just want to start off with the question of, why should you create a Shopify store? Why is it important? Why do you want to have that? So it may seem obvious, but creating a Shopify store is going to not only bring in money to your business and, well, hopefully bring in money to your business, but it's actually going to teach you a lot. So since starting my first Shopify store, I've learned so much, and it's kind of put me in this area of online business where I'm forced to just take in everything and anything that I find online. So, from the back of dropshipping, I've learned about print on demand, I've learned about selling digital goods, I've learned about affiliate marketing, and all these wonderful different things. So it's almost like a gateway drug, right? So as soon as you've had a taste of the sweet life from dropshipping, you end up diving down into these different avenues and finding new different businesses that could potentially work better or complement your e-commerce store. So that being said, I think it's really important that everyone does try it and everyone does take a shot at it, because you never know, you could be an absolute e-commerce genius and it's just the way your brain works. You're very analytical and you can sort through hundreds of stores, pick out the best things, find winning products easily, and Bob's your uncle, you are the next e-commerce Einstein, which I hope one of you are. If you are, let me know and we can team up, yeah? So yeah, I guess the best way for me to explain everything to you guys would be to just give you a little step-by-step process in what I do and how I sort of go about setting up my new stores. It's pretty simple, it's nothing too crazy. So obviously the first thing that I would do is look for the name for my store. So if you do have an Instagram theme page or you do have a big following somewhere, it's usually best to keep it within your niche of your theme page if you plan on advertising through that platform. As long as it's closely related to that niche, that's the main thing. So let's say, for example, I have ocean pages. I may call one of my websites theoceanlovers.com. I'm sure that domain's taken, but you get the idea. I can use that across all of my ocean pages without any conflict of interest because it's related to the same niche and I'll be selling products that my followers actually want. Jesus, it's getting hot in here. I've got these ring lights on about 100 degrees. And we're cooking up. So once I've thought of a name, what I then go and do is I jump on a platform called Godaddy and I double check that name and domain is actually available. So a lot of the time in this day and age, most domains are taken. Anything cool is going to be taken. So you have to get a little bit creative and try to find names that are going to work for your business whilst also being available to purchase. Now you're going to see that some of the names you type in will come up and it will say that they're available, but for a very, very high premium, usually in the hundreds or sometimes thousands. And let me just tell you now, it is not worth spending a penny more than you need to on finding a domain. I never spend anything over £15, and that is just the standard price for GoDaddy. And I don't think you need to be spending any more than that either. There is plenty of different domain providers. GoDaddy isn't the only one, but that's just the one I use and what I've been using for over 50 domains now. I recommend that one myself. If you want to find more about GoDaddy, I'm sure a lot of you know about it already. I'll leave a link in the description of this video and you can jump straight over there and start looking for your new business's name. Cool, you found a name now, it works within your niche, it's available on GoDaddy and you can actually buy the domain. The next step is to create your logo. I have a background in web design and graphic design, so I actually make all of my own logos myself. I don't spend too much time on it. Remember, when you're first setting up your store, there is no guarantees that it's going to be successful. So you want to minimize the amount of time, notice how I said time, invested in this business. You know, you're going to have to upfront some costs and some money, but the most important thing is time. That's the only thing we're very limited to. And you don't want to be wasting it, spending all of your time on a product that just isn't working, or an online store that has just got no future and no potential. So you have plenty of options when it comes to designing a logo. You can use a platform like Canva and just create a really simple text logo, or you can go to someone on Fiverr and pay them, you know, $15 to $20 to create you a custom logo. Whatever you choose is completely up to you. Obviously, it completely depends on your budget, but like I said, it really doesn't matter, and I wouldn't stress that much out about it. When it comes to choosing the platform for your e-commerce store, the number one and the god of all e-commerce platforms is obviously Shopify. That is all I use. I haven't tried any others. You know, I don't really feel the need to. Shopify's got a great integration with tons of apps, different sales platforms as well, such as Facebook and Instagram, Google Ads too. So I like using Shopify. It's the easiest to use. It's got tons of free themes that are optimized for conversions. So it makes it super, super easy for you guys to just start up, get involved, and just start selling essentially. There's been times I've set Shopify stores up in literally 2 hours and they're making sales on hour 3. So yeah, it's definitely the best platform, and it's definitely the one that I would recommend. Again, I'll leave a link to a free trial for Shopify in the description if you did want to start a Shopify store. Just start having a play around with it and just start learning the basics. Look at their free themes, and it should hopefully give you a little bit of inspiration in terms of how your store could look. Now, the next step is probably one of the most important parts of creating an online business and an e-commerce store, and that is finding out what products to sell. Now, this is the age-old question. This is the most difficult part of all stores online. Finding your product isn't going to be easy, and I've said in previous videos, the products that have worked best for me have been the ones that have surprised me the most. You know, I sold a robot vacuum that I thought was crap, but everyone loved. I sold a Donald Trump toilet brush, which again, I thought was naff, but everyone loved it and it was flying off the shelves. And I've sold random toys that have done really, really well for me too. There are a lot of products out there that are trending, they're seasonal, and if you can find a product that's available to everyone and anyone all year round, that's perfect. Now, obviously, if you have based this store off of your niche on Instagram, or you have a big following on Instagram and you've based this store from that niche, then you need to be looking at that niche and figuring out what them customers want and what sort of products they want to see. Now, a good way of doing this, and a really, really easy way to cheat the system a little bit, when you're first starting off, I would just look at what other stores are doing and what other stores are selling and figure out products from there. I wouldn't go and start doing loads of product research and trying to figure out and trying to be this genius when it comes to finding new products. I would actually just look at what's working for others, and then I would implement that into my store and start testing from there. So the way I actually find winning products is I go through Etsy.com. Again, I've made a video on this before and I will link it somewhere up here. I go through Etsy.com, I look at what stores have the best reviews in my niche, and then I see what products are selling, what people are buying. Can I get that product on AliExpress? Can I find other suppliers for it? Is it a print on demand product? Anything like that. And then I would just jump onto your Shopify store and just start investigating. See if you can then make a store based around that winning product that you've just found on Etsy. Obviously, you can use other platforms such as Facebook or Instagram and just go on sort of a wild goose chase and start hunting for brands that are showing ads to you even, seeing what works. You know, by far the best place to find a winning product is Etsy.com. I've made several stores from Etsy that I've just literally taken winning products from Etsy stores, started a Shopify store, and I've just blown them up with Facebook ads and influencers. You got to remember, people on Etsy are mainly using Etsy ads and Etsy ads only, and they don't have that external store there. So they're kind of limited to the amount of customers they can get and receive. But if they've got a huge amount of sales inside of Etsy, you can only imagine that people outside of Etsy are going to want that product too. So obviously, if you have decided to choose a dropshipping product, or you are looking for a print on demand business, you're going to need to find the right suppliers. So a lot of people will say, do not use AliExpress, but at the beginning of your business, I think it's the best and only place you should be looking. I wouldn't be looking at investing money in inventory until you know you've at least sold 50 to 100 products and it's working and it's profitable. You don't want to be investing lots of money up front. We want to do this on a streamline so you can multiply it and do it lots of times until you find that winning product. So yeah, I would use AliExpress if you're dropshipping, and if you're doing print on demand, I would use a platform such as Printify or Guten. There's lots of different products you can get from there, whether it's wall canvases or reusable bottles, t-shirts, hoodies, pillows, mugs, you name it, you can find anything there. And it usually works pretty well if you do have a theme page and you do a print on demand store and it's based around that niche. You know, if someone's got a theme page based around dogs, they might make a print on demand store that only sells dog lover t-shirts and cool design merch based around that niche. Now, if you are looking for designers, again, you can use Canva or you can go to fiverr.com, and there are plenty of designers out there who are willing to do the work, providing you've got the money. Once you have found the product you want to sell, once you've got your store set up, your domain and all your logo completed, you're then going to want to set up your social media platforms. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, but you need so many followers on Instagram and Facebook before you can start making sales of it. And yes, this is the case if you're planning on only doing organic outreach. But if you are planning on the future in setting up paid advertising such as Facebook and Instagram ads, then you're going to want to have a social media account there. Now, if you are new to Instagram and you don't have a big theme page that you're running this store from, then simply set up an Instagram account. Use the advice that I give you in my previous videos about how to set up a good Instagram account. Make a good caption, link your website, upload your logo as a profile image, and just get going from there. You don't need tons of followers. You don't need loads of posts. You just need to have them platforms set up so you are ready to start advertising from them when you're ready to make sales. Now, obviously that leads me to the next point in how you're gonna actually market and advertise these products. So you have different options. You've got influencers on TikTok, Instagram, or obviously you've got paid ads such as Google ads and Facebook ads. I would recommend starting off with paid influencers shout out on Instagram and TikTok, and then maybe you can migrate to Facebook ads at a later time when you're feeling a little bit more comfortable. You're usually going to spend more money with Facebook ads, so it's always best to start off with a smaller budget on the likes of Instagram with different influencers posting on these big theme pages, as it's going to help you test your product on the cheap. Now, this isn't actually what I do. I actually pay money upfront on Facebook ads, and I'll dedicate a new store around £1,000 just to trial it out and test it. Now, this is a pretty aggressive strategy, and there's been many a times that I've just spent £1,000 and the store has been an absolute flop. So I don't want you guys to do that and waste all your money. I would rather you take it slowly, take your time. Like I said at the beginning of this video, learn. That's the main thing. Learn, because this is where I started out. I started off on influencers on Instagram, and then I slowly moved over to Facebook ads when I was feeling a little bit more comfortable and I had more money in the bank. That isn't to say influencers don't work. I've had products where I've paid an influencer $30 and I've made £3,000-4,000 back in profits from that one post. So it sounds crazy, I know, but it does work. And I promise you, look, if you need any help with that, let me know in the comments or message me on Instagram, and I'm more than happy to give you some advice one-on-one and kind of teach you through that. Cool, so there's some really, really good pieces of software that I would recommend you get started with as soon as you start making sales. So one of the websites I use all the time, this is basically a platform where you can hire freelancers to essentially work for you, right? So you can hire virtual assistants from the Philippines or India, and they can do the different tasks such as order processing or customer support, which then frees up your time to spend working on the business rather than in the business. This is something I do almost immediately. I have a virtual assistant team that works across all of my stores, and they pretty much take it over as soon as I've set it up and start running the ads. One, because I'm not good at customer service, and that is my biggest downfall. And two, I just want to have more time. I would rather spend that money and have the time working on the businesses rather than slaving away, processing orders and doing them boring, mundane tasks that can be done by anyone pretty much. So another one, although it is simple, is Google Sheets. I would start recording any customer complaints you have on Google Sheets, any new orders you get, any problems that you face, and just start collecting data and information, and then you can always have something to retrace back to. If you're just messaging virtual assistants or you're just doing it off the top of your head all the time, you're going to start tripping up and you're going to get confused. So I have these huge documents almost with every business that I create, where I just document everything. My virtual assistants would document everything on this Google Sheet, and then we can revert back to that and find out if there's any issues or if there's something that we could have improved somewhere down the line. The last piece of software I really want to talk about is Zapier. Now, Zapier is probably something you're going to want to integrate at a later stage, but I thought I would mention it now because it's just so powerful and it's literally changed my life. So what Zapier does, it actually allows you to automate really simple tasks, such as, let's just say, for example, I get an order on Shopify. I would then set up a Zap on Zapier, which would then port that order information over to an Excel spreadsheet, which will then notify my virtual assistants and send out emails to different members of the team. So it's essentially this robot that you can sort of intertwine with your business and give it different tasks to complete across the day, and it will happen automatically as soon as different triggers happen within your business. So again, I wouldn't look at integrating it straight away because it does cost money, but it's definitely something you should look at in the future because it almost replaces the virtual assistants when they're not needed. If there's really, really boring tasks, Zapier usually is the best thing to do that and to complete them tasks, whereas your virtual assistants are a little bit more hands-on and they can use the power of the human brain, if you like. But yeah, they're probably the 3 best external pieces of software and websites that I always integrate, use across my different e-commerce stores. So look, now you've got a full understanding of how you should start your store and what you should be looking at doing whilst you're making your store. But you are definitely, and 100%, I guarantee you are going to face some issues. Now, these issues, they're more part of your mental. These are issues that I think everyone faces, and I certainly faced. The first being, you're not making any sales, you lose motivation, and you pretty much just lose confidence in everything, you just give up. Like, that is the worst thing you can do, obviously. And you literally just have to be persistent with this. You have to be consistent as well. And you just got to believe in yourself a little bit. You have to believe in yourself. You have to focus on it and just keep improving every single day. It's always about learning. And like I said, I learned from my mistakes, not from my successes. And that's what you guys need to do too. You're going to have to trip over a few times and make a few mistakes, lose some money here and there. And eventually you're going to start becoming this absolute e-commerce champion, because you just don't want to be stung again by your different mistakes. And that's literally what you need. Confidence is a big thing when it comes to e-commerce. If you are starting a product and you're building your store out, if your confidence isn't quite there, you're going to start questioning the product before you've even tried to sell it. And it's just a dangerous, dangerous road. Like I said, I've sold products that I thought were crap and would never ever sell, and they just turned out to be the best products that I've ever sold and what made me the most money. So ignore any negative thoughts that you have in your head, work on the data. If there's something that's selling on Etsy, try it on your website. If it's working for them, it's probably going to work for you. So, don't stress out too much. Don't just have these negative thoughts about, how it's not going to work for you because you're a beginner and you've never done it before. None of that. All right, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, just keep improving and it will get better. Pretty much the only other negative thing about these e-commerce stores is the customer service. Now, you may love customer service. Like I said, I don't. That's why I hire in a team to deal with that for me. Just make sure you stay on top of customer service because it can really damage not only your brand, but your business account manager on Facebook if you're running ads. You may find that your account gets stopped and you can't run ads anymore purely and simply because your customer service was lacking and people weren't kept up to date with their tracking information or delivery updates for their product. So yeah, that's a golden rule. Make sure your customer service is on point because it's really, really going to pay off. I've been stung by that many a times where I've just let a really successful business fall to the wayside because customer service was lacking so hard, and naughty boy, I should have learned, but luckily I have now. But look, I hope this video has helped you in some way. I know I would have loved a video like this when I was first starting out, but unfortunately there wasn't anyone around. But yeah, if you have any questions or if there's anything that I can do to help you, let me know in the comments and let me know on Instagram, and I'll be sure to help you there. Starting an e-commerce store is probably the best thing you can do, especially now. Lots of people are working from home. They have this free time that they didn't have before, where you can be looking at starting internet businesses and making money on the side, whether you're still working a job full time and you just want to make a couple of £100 a month. This is a great way of doing that, and it's something that you can learn a lot from. Look at 10 years from now, this whole online world is going to be on a completely different level. There's going to be online stores and online businesses everywhere, even more than now. So make sure you're part of that. Don't get left behind, and make sure you're learning about everything that's happening online within the e-commerce space too, because it's going to be super valuable in the future. I will leave you to it, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video.